Okay, so I'm just going to show the priming pulse thing. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, this morning, it is, I don't know whether you can see that, but it's Thursday the 14th of June. It is 8:32, and it's the day after I collected the car from Lloyd's yesterday. What I'm doing now is I'm just demonstrating that the priming pulse looping issue is still happening. I have run the car this morning. It didn't loop first thing this morning. Everything worked perfectly actually. So you can see the temperatures, they're frozen because I've just literally switched the ignition off. 87 degrees, the car is fully warm. I wouldn't pay too much attention to the AFR because that tends to go weak as the ignition gets turned off. Air temperature 48 degrees, and the map setting there is obviously just as I've turned the ignition off. So anyway, just really show you the air temperature and the coolant temperature, and show you the car is fully warm, because when the car was cold it didn't do the looping problem. So what I want to show you now is what happens when I turn the ignition on. Okay, so the car is in LPG mode. As you can see, the switch is pressed in. It should turn blue as I turn on the ignition, and it should just priming pulse for about a second or so as a maximum. Here we go. And there we go. It's looping. Looping, looping, looping. We can start the car, and it starts, and it's probably flooded because of all the fuel in there. I'll keep it alive with my foot on the throttle, old style. Anyway, it's settling down now, so it's idling, which is fine, but that looping has not been fixed. I don't know how extensively this was tested before the car was given back to me, but that's so disappointing. Ultimately, I haven't done anything to the car other than driven it home. Oh dear. Right, let's try it once more. Turning it off. My guess is there's some sort of electromagnetic interference coming from the fans, because I guess when it's cold, I don't know really. I mean, maybe radiator fans, I don't know. I really don't know. But anyway, here we go. We'll try it again. Once again, this is literally 8:30 in the morning, the day after I collected it from Lloyd's yesterday, having been with them for a couple of weeks to fix this very issue. Let's just see what happens again. Ignition on. Looping. Okay, start the car. It's not running particularly well. It doesn't really want to idle. Fans are cutting in. It's all a bit of a mess really. Idle is horrible. Just trying to drop down to 500 RPM, which is weird. Now what I would say is it is running now rich, which it wasn't a moment ago. 11.6, it's closed loop targeted to 13:1, so 11.6, no idea why it's now doing that. Worse still, my lovely AMX sub Wi-Fi, which has always been a great friend of mine, is showing 10, 10.3, 10.5 to 1. So let's just put those together. They always matched. David Hampshire created the software for me, and hopefully you can see that now. The Oxygen 1 AFR, that's the lambda feedback on this, is showing 12.5 to 1. So it's a little bit rich from the 13:1 target, but obviously it's stabilising itself. But hopefully you can see in the bottom of the screen, for some reason now, my AMX Wi-Fi is showing 10:1 instead of the 12.5 that you can see above. Which should actually be 13, but I guess it's going to stabilise in a minute. But you know, I just don't know why it's now 2.5 points off when it was absolutely perfectly matched just before the latest failure. So that's an issue too. Let's try the priming pulse one last time to prove And once again, this is the morning at 8:30, the morning after I collected the car from Lloyd's yesterday, with this very issue supposedly fixed. I've been without the car for a few weeks now, having this issue fixed, so I don't know what the hell's going on here. Quite clearly it hasn't been fixed, so let's just do that once more, turning the ignition off. Again, we're in LPG mode. Why don't we try it in petrol mode and see whether we get a looping priming pulse with petrol mode too. So hopefully you can hear this. I'll go quiet. Ignition on. Yeah, it does the same in petrol. Oh dear. Okay. Never mind. Hopefully this will be fixed one day.